Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aurora, and here I am showing up to do the weekly energy update for the week of May 3rd, 2021. These messages are timeless, so it doesn't really matter when you find this video, but this is specifically for this week to give you guidance on this path. Okay, so this week, there are no major astrological transits that I want to come up with. Usually I talk about the moon. That's really my depth of astrology with, actually being able to deliver a message. But, yeah, so we have no full moon, we have no new moon. There is a lot of astrological transits going on. I'm just not an astrologer. So I don't have those in my back pocket, but I definitely have listened to a bunch of different astrologers to kind of eclectically pick information and kind of pick their brains because it's beautiful. I love astrologers' minds. Okay, so this week, let's just get right into it then. This week, our main kind of energy that we're kind of going to be playing with is building a solid foundation. This is going to be where our focus is at. So I guess foundation would be the one word to kind of wrap it all up. Foundation, so if you're not in alignment, this can come as your foundation crumbling. And as well as, even if you're not in alignment, even if you are in alignment, it could also be represented as that, which is your foundation crumbling. So this week's really being focused on like what's working for you and what's not working for you, and really going deep into these different aspects of yourself that are maybe not sustainable and not good for the long term. We have redefining self. So we're tapping into our belief systems. We're tapping into, kind of our stories that we've told ourselves. We're picking and choosing. We're bringing this to the conscious mind. Our subconscious, which ties into last week's Scorpio moon, that subconscious, we've now kind of been in that for the last week, being shown different things. And now we're getting clarity. And if we're not getting clarity, then we need to be asking for clarity, from the universe, from ourselves, from our partners, from, anybody, right? So, yeah, that's really, we're redefining ourselves. So our subconscious stuff has been coming up, and now we are, we're more comfortable with looking at it, and now we're ready to kind of take the action. That's kind of the message there, is like, okay, so we don't need to, sit with every little detail about, everything you think you did wrong or everything you think you should have done. We're kind of out of that energy now, and we're entering into this more action-oriented energy. It's more a yang energy than a yin. Yin is internal processing and digesting, whereas the yang is external and like action and forward movement. So we're kind of more in that, where we're ready to take action. But there's also this kind of uncertainty of which direction we need to go, because we're all on such a fresh new path, which is coming back to this redefining yourself. Like, we're all on this really fresh path, this really fresh energy of the old really being shed, really being let go of. And I'm even hearing in our nervous system. So like this goes beyond, like just thinking thoughts. This is like things that are actually held in our nervous system from certain experiences. It's actually our nervous system regenerating. So yeah, that's just the message there. So it's like, this is really deep, like, because a lot of us actually don't have access to our parasympathetic mode, which is our rest and digest. So when we are sleeping or when we're relaxing, most of us cannot actually access that part of our nervous system because we're in fight or flight all the time. So we just are so turned on, if you will, from, our electronics, from whatever it is. We don't actually give ourselves the time to relax. So our nervous system actually like doesn't really know how to relax. So really this week, this is coming down to focusing on like learning how to relax your nervous system, basically. So like, you know, with breath work or with meditation or with yoga or with exercise or with whatever it is that you're drawn to do. But yeah, upgrading the nervous system. Wow, I didn't know this was going to come through. This is cool. But yeah, upgrading the nervous system, because this is where all of our trauma is stored. And then also on top of that, we kind of live in this, you know, stressful world where we're constantly go, 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 go. And even when we're not going, like at home, we have our social media that's keeping us in that. We have our phones, we have our connections to the outside world or connections to whatever it is that you're connecting to. These are all energetic cords being kind of connected to and from you, and this is all draining energy. And so really having this conscious awareness of when you're choosing to really, you know, relax into the present moment, and when you're, you know, even when you think you're relaxing and you're not relaxing. I hope that makes sense. So really focusing on, you know, consciously choosing to relax. And this is like, you know, through meditation, it's a really good one. Through breath work is because, or even exercise, is because we are, well, I guess not really exercise. When I say exercise, I more mean like yoga, like a nice slow flow. But yeah, like really even just telling yourself that everything's okay, you know, like just speaking to yourself, that's really going to help process and really let your body know that it is safe. And then head and heart balance is coming up here too then, right? So when we're too much in our head space, not enough in our heart space, or when our head and our heart aren't in balance, so when we're feeling certain things and we're thinking certain things and they're not aligning, then we feel anxiety or we feel ungrounded. And so really bringing that awareness into like, what are you thinking and what are you feeling? Are they in alignment? Are your thoughts causing the feelings? Are your feelings causing the thoughts? Like, where is everything going right now energetically for you, with your mind, with your body, with your connection to your life as a whole? And really like analyzing all of the cords, all the energetic cords that that you're connected to, and then choosing to cut the ones that you realize are draining you or that aren't serving you. And this is going to allow for you to be able to have more energy in each present moment, that you know, each moment beyond the moment that you cut these cords, you're going to be regaining your energy, your power, your strength, and your clarity and your certainty. And so just keep coming back to yourself with your energy and have a really, really strong awareness of your energetics, of like, you know, your thought quality, your, you know, like, how are you eating? How, like, are you sleeping well? You know, really just come back to the basics as we're talking about the foundation, right? This is all very foundational stuff here. If we don't have these foundations in place, then we can't sustain a life of high quality. So, yeah, I'm going to have a drink here. So yeah, building a solid foundation. Redefining self. Those are my 2 points here. Everything else has been channeled, but those are the 2 main points, as well as our nervous system being able to access this relaxed state, and also learning, I just heard. So like being inquisitive, having that curiosity and willingness to grow and to learn and to be in the unknown. This is going to be really helpful because we're all on this new path. We're all on this learning curve. We're all ending so much and beginning so much. And there's this sense that, you know, like we really don't even know what we're beginning yet. With, you know, a lot of people that I'm connected to or that I'm talking to, as well as my own life, is like, we don't really know what we're doing quite yet. Like we know we're here to, you know, like anchor in these higher frequencies, and we know that we're here to help, you know, human consciousness raise in vibration. We know we're here to live from the heart space. We know we're here to follow our passions. We know we're here to, you know, step into this beautiful 5D reality, but it's like there's this gap, or there's this space of transition that we're going through right now. And right now we're at this point where we're clearing the slate. Like all subconscious thoughts, beliefs, patterns, even if we're not conscious that we're clearing these things. That's why it's so important to clear our energetics this week, is because it's being filtered out anyways. So the more that we're consciously doing it, the more that we're going to benefit from the actual energies that are available to us right now. So yeah, by consciously clearing your energies, we're all being purged at the moment anyway, as a collective, with all the energies that are circulating. But if we can consciously use this energy to perpetuate, to kind of move us forward, we can just purge a lot more and really be in this space of centered and groundedness. And then clarity, and then having direction, and then being in alignment, with yourself, because you're connected to yourself and you're not connected to, all these different things. Like even the coronavirus, like the whole storyline, like everything, like the world as a whole, I should just say, like it stresses me out, and what I have to disconnect, but I do consciously connect because I am curious about what's going on, like what are the storylines, like I still want to feel connected to this world even though I really don't live in it anymore. I want to still be able to understand what people are going through, what's really going on, like what is this, so I'm more or less just curious, but I'm very conscious in my disconnect with it as well. Like I'm not really one to watch the news, and I never have been. I probably look at news articles more now, to be honest, than I am conscious than when I wasn't, because I just didn't even care about what was going on. But now I really am pleased to just kind of go through and kind of find the ones that catch my eye, because this is a way that I play with the universe. I say, okay, universe, show me what I need to see, and the universe will show me what I need to see through these news articles. So I just think it's really fascinating. So being very conscious of where your energy is at, where it's being leaked, kind of manipulative energies as well, if there's any manipulative energies, or if you're being manipulative, really having that conscious awareness around what's going on, and being honest with yourself as well, so that you're able to actually shift out of it, because if we're not going to be honest with ourselves, and we're not going to take responsibility for our stuff, then how are we ever going to shift our reality and live a conscious life when we don't really want to be conscious of what's going on? So yeah, that's a little bit of redefining self. I also have cultivating an independence. So then actually, also with our energetic fields, I have cultivating an independence. I was more or less thinking possibly financially, or in a relationship, maybe there's some codependency, but there is this sense of really needing to have our own personal solid foundation, like as an individual. Like we all need to really slow down and to look in the mirror and to say, am I living my best life? Am I living a life that is in alignment with my truth, with my purpose, with what I'm doing here? And if you don't know, then that's okay too, like it's a whole journey. That just means you're at the beginning. And if you do know and you just don't know how to kind of make the moves and take the proper steps, it's always just about coming back to ourselves. So when we come back to ourselves and we can really get raw, real, and honest about what it is that's going on within us, what it is that's going on in our lives, in the greater world, in the galaxy, in the universe, and then coming back to ourselves and saying, where do I fit into all of this? And then really, understanding yourself deeper and deeper, so that you're able to know what it is that is in alignment with you, right? Because most of us don't really know, myself included. I know a lot of, things that I love, but I'm on this path of, really solidifying my foundation in the sense of a career, and really like basically just building my own from the ground up. So there's a lot of overlapping here with me, and like building the solid foundation and redefining self and cultivating independence. So it's just this energy of like really taking our power back, and really like taking that action that's necessary to create a structure in our lives that is going to fit us and sustain us. So where we're going to thrive, where, you know, it doesn't feel like I'm working. These are the things that I want, right? So it's like cultivating this independence of our energy as well. So as I was saying, like really having that conscious awareness of like, am I, you know, worrying about this or thinking about this or wondering about this, or, you know, really reining in these worries and these fears and these things that, you know, keep us ungrounded, and ground yourself. Really like latch on to whatever that feeling or that thought or whatever it might be, or that experience, and really process it. Choose to bring it into your conscious awareness and digest it and ground it into your reality, into your understanding, into your knowing, so that you can move forward from that worry, from that fear, from that thought, from that experience, and you're able to take your power back, to take your energy back, and to have that independence of your own energetic field. Because a lot of us don't even have an awareness that we are energy, and that we have energetic fields. So of course you're not going to be purifying and clearing and cleansing and making sure it's like having a shower every day, right? Like you wouldn't go a month without having a shower. So, you know, just as if, you know, you want to keep up your energetic hygiene as your physical, then you want to be conscious of really like knowing where your frequency is, where you're vibrating at. Are your thoughts fueling you? Are they draining you? Are you thinking someone else's thoughts? Is somebody having such an influence on you that you don't even know what you think about something? You know, like there's all these different ways that we can cultivate our independence energetically, and it's through that moment to moment practice that we actually get to see the results, because we are consciously choosing in every moment to anchor these higher frequencies and these higher vibrations. And then the last point here, focusing on longevity and sustainability, which I did tap on already, but I just wanted to bring it back in here. So focusing on longevity and sustainability, which is totally in alignment with our base chakra here, which is building a solid foundation. So looks to me like this week's going to be all about our base, our foundation, you know. And really redefining ourselves. So asking for guidance. This is like one of my, these are like my little key points, if you will, to what we should do this week is like ask for guidance. So I just asked my boyfriend, I was like, okay, I need help. Like, dude, I'm struggling so hard with business and getting into the groove of it, and I need support. And he's like, okay, great, I'm here to help, you know, and he's gonna help me, and we're gonna sit down, and I just need somebody to bounce ideas off of and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm working on, this is where I'm going with it, this is, you know. So asking for that guidance from anybody, you know, anybody that you feel is going to be beneficial to asking, like ask, you know, asking for guidance from the angels, saying, hey, or the universe, whatever word you want. Hey universe, hey angels, can you come in and give me guidance? Or guidance from your higher self. Hey higher self, can you please give me guidance? Or, you know, a good one for that is doing journal work with, you know, like channeling your future self. So like I'm 25 right now, so, you know, okay, I want guidance from my 45-year-old self. So in 20 years, what is my future self going to want to be telling me right now? And what guidance do I need in order to move forward from this place right now? And that way you can give your most highest mature response to yourself, and receive that guidance. And then also too, if you want to go back in time, so say I want to go to my 10-year-old self, I can go back and tap into my 10-year-old self, so she can write me a letter. Hey, you know, Aurora, like, whatever, I don't know. Tap into what your 10-year-old self version would say to you. Yeah, so then you kind of have, like, these two kind of, like, timelines that you can merge together within this now moment and get these different advices, because, you know, a child has a complete different advice than an adult or that, like, a grandmother figure would have, right? So really, like, kind of pulling these aspects of yourself out to give you that guidance is a really beneficial way, because, you know, you really get into your subconscious. You really can tap in and receive messages that you may not have received if you didn't do that exercise, right? So asking for guidance, this is a really, really big one. And then after asking for guidance, second step, listen. Really basic, right? Listen. It's 5:55. But yeah, so listen and really receive that information, receive that guidance, and then implement it. And then the last one is surrender to the flow. So we don't always like what we hear. We don't always like, seeing the signs that the universe gives us, even though we've received the message. We're like, no, I don't want to receive it that way. No, I don't want to receive it that way. No, I don't want to receive it that way. I want to receive it this way. That comes in with listening. So really listen. Come back to listening and your heart space of like, you are being guided all day, every day, at every moment, all the time. There's never a moment where you're not being guided. It's just, are you aware that you're being guided? And that's really where like bringing in this conscious mind and raising your consciousness to kind of meet that divinity within yourself. That's where we can really tune into our listening and really hear our intuition and strengthen that, so that, we don't always have to do all these journal exercises or different prompts, but that's a way that we can really strengthen our connection to our intuition and to our soul. And then surrender to the flow. So you just have to surrender to where it is that you're at in divine timing, and trusting that, everything that is yours will be yours. Everything that is not will not. And it's not always easy to integrate these lessons, but it is a really, really powerful one to have in your back pocket, because it allows for you to really surrender into, the moment that you're in, the way that your life has turned out, where you're going in life. And yeah, so just understanding divine timing is really, really powerful. Okay, wow, that was fun. So that was only a few little points I have. I wanted to open it with that, and then I'm just kind of gonna hit on this list, and then I have like 6 decks here. I'm not gonna pull from all of them, but I just love to have them all kind of around me so that I can intuitively grab the ones that I'm drawn to. Okay, so I'll read this, and then I'm gonna get into pulling some cards. Actually, I also have my singing bowl here because I just wanted to play it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I might close out with it. All right. So I might have already touched on some of this stuff and the information that I just kind of pulled through, but it's important, so I want to kind of go over it again. Okay, so the first point I have is releasing beliefs that aren't in alignment anymore. Okay, so really bringing a conscious awareness around your beliefs, your belief system, because this is your foundation. Okay, so coming back to that foundational energy, what are your beliefs about anything? Like, what do you believe? What do you believe in? And it doesn't have to be anything big and profound, like, do you believe in God? It could just be, like, what do you believe about yourself? What is your perception of yourself? I know that when I started my healing journey, that my perception of myself was not very kind. Like, I was not very kind to myself. I had a really mean inner critic. Like, if I made a mistake, I'd, like, beat myself up about it. And I used to use this exercise of putting myself, like, talking to myself as if I was my friend, which we should be, but we're not really taught that. So I had to really implement that exercise of really becoming my own best friend, in order to treat myself with love and with respect, and to honor myself, and to be okay with making mistakes, and to be okay with being imperfect, and so on and so forth, right? So yeah, like, really tap into what it is that you believe. There's a lot of energy around also purging our beliefs with our parents, because we were basically, like, imprinted with their beliefs, imprinted with society's beliefs, imprinted with, every different person that you've ever interacted with before has been kind of, I don't know, cauterized, is that the word? I don't know, singed into your template, into your energetic template. And so that's all there. Everything that you've ever experienced in any past life, any present life, any future life is there. So it's like we're now releasing those beliefs that aren't in alignment, so that we can be that clear conduit, that clear channel, so we can be open to source, so that we can listen, so we can receive, so we can hear the messages and then take the proper action. Because if I say I have a belief that I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving of XYZ, then I'm going to live a life that is in lack of XYZ because I don't think that I'm worthy of receiving that. And maybe that came from a past life. Maybe you were, abused in a past life. You were maybe a slave. Maybe you were, I don't know, like there's so many things, an orphan. Maybe you were, I don't know. I have no idea. I could go on, but I don't know what you were. But whatever was caused you to have this low self-worth. And honestly, just incarnating here as a woman today in 2021 and, however long you've been here, it's traumatic as itself because of the perception of what a woman is, who a woman is to be, how we're supposed to act, how we're supposed to show up, the way that we're supposed to speak, or, whatever it is. It's traumatizing in itself, just incarnating into this vessel as a woman, like feeling dirty, like feeling like you can't be a sexual being, like all the distortions that come along with, oh yes, thank you for having that come through. Because the other thing is, we're purifying the feminine energy as we're doing this. Anytime that I talk about spirit, that's more on the feminine than the masculine. The physical is the masculine, right? So we're purifying spirit, we're purifying the feminine. So just being incarnate here as a woman or as a girl, wherever you are, in your phase, it has its own traumas, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like understanding our body, like growing into our body and coming back to our foundation, even just talking about our body. Like, how do we feel in our body? What are your beliefs around your body? Do you love your body? Do you have insecurities? Do you wish this or do you wish that? And how can you really integrate these deeper beliefs about yourself so that you know that you are beautiful and that you are perfect and that you are whole and that you're a divine being of pure love and light that came here to experience this human experience, and there's nothing wrong with you. So where is it that you're triggered? Where is it that your beliefs need to be purified, purged, and cleansed? And how can you take the steps in order to really believe these, I guess I'll say positive things about yourself instead of the negative? Yeah, beautiful. So releasing beliefs that aren't in alignment anymore. So communication is opening up as well. Communication is opening up, so we're being able to, because we're purging and cleansing and purifying all these different aspects of ourselves, we're creating clarity and an opening for a deeper understanding, a deeper connection, a deeper communication with people that are in our lives and with our own personal self. And the more that we can really go deep with our own personal connection to self, then the more in alignment with our path and with our purpose that we can be in, because we know ourselves and what makes us happy and what makes us tick. So why would we not choose to live that life, right? So that's why all this shadow is not really a bad thing. It's just something that needs to be, dealt with, if you will. So as we're dealing with all of this, we are purging, we're cleansing, we're purifying, we're opening up, we're learning how to be vulnerable. And when we're doing that, we gain clarity through, just bouncing ideas off of, like I was saying with my boyfriend about being like, I need help with business stuff. Like, I just need that. I need that thing to bounce off of so that I can realize, okay, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? What is it that I need to do next in order to get to where I want to be? So that communication is opening around just your own personal and interconnected as well. So throat chakra activations, saying what you need to say. That's how it's going to go this week, because we are grounding ourselves into our body. We're connecting. We're choosing to, really honor ourselves. And this is the feminine coming in again, like with nurturing ourselves and loving ourselves and putting ourselves first and choosing to nourish and create a sustainable life that's going to give us longevity to have a beautiful fifth dimensional reality. And so how can we anchor in these frequencies? And so it's through speaking our truth. It's through saying what we need, or saying what needs to be said. It's about just honoring yourself in the process and honoring others as well, because truth is a blade, okay? So you can't just go around and puke truth all over everyone, because, you know, truth is subjective as well. You know, truth is an interesting thing. But that's our throat chakra, is our truth center. So it's like really connecting to your truth, because as you can connect to your truth, you're also grounding deeper into your body, because our truth is it's our instrument. Our truth, our throat chakra is our instrument for communication, for connection, for expression. So if it's closed, then we might feel, you know, like I can't talk, like I get tripped up on my words. I don't know what to say. Whenever there's attention on me, I get hot, or, you know, different things. It's like, this is somebody that isn't in connection with their truth. But you can also have it where you're like overflowing and you're just like shitting on everybody and you think that you're, you know, just doing the world a favor, and you're not, because you're too open. You know your truths too well, even though they might not be solidified into what you truly believe. That's a too open throat chakra, where you're just kind of spitting it all over everybody, and that's not beneficial either. So it's really about finding this balance of saying what you need to say and consciously, you know, like connecting to yourself before you choose to go outward, and yeah, really having clarity with what it is that your truth is. And I'm hearing this will open up a lot of doorways. So, like being able to say what you need to say when you need to say it, and having that discernment of, you know, when you should say it and how it needs to be said. And again, this is not coming from the head space. This is coming from the heart space. So, how do I say that differently? So basically, you don't need to think before you speak. That's not what I'm saying. When I'm saying, like, make sure it's what you really want, it's like, when we're solid in our foundation, in our truth, in our center, then you speak from the heart. You flow from the heart, and you already know that, you know, what you're, okay, cool. So that's what they're saying. Filter, okay, so work in tandem this week with filtering your throat and your heart chakra. Okay, that's so good. So is this true? And that's how you, okay, cool. So that's how you filter out your beliefs. So how do you filter out your beliefs? I don't know. Okay, so what are you thinking? Speak it to yourself. Purify it through your heart center. Filter it. Is that true? Like, I don't know. What's an insecurity? I'm a nuisance. I'm annoying. You know, I feel annoying. So that's my belief. That's my thought. So I'll speak it. I feel annoying. And then from there, you filter it through your heart. Well, are you annoying? No, of course you're not annoying. Of course you're allowed to take up space. Of course you deserve to be here. But then going beyond that is like, why do you feel annoying? Right? Like, where did this come from? And then tracing that back and following your cookie crumbs, I call them, to the source, so that you can understand why it is that you feel like you're a nuisance. Like, maybe when you were a kid, your dad always didn't ever want to take you anywhere, and so then from there you took on this belief, like, well, God, like, maybe I should just not go because I'm annoying and he gets mad at me and da-da-da-da-da and whatever it might be. So then that's where that belief comes in of, I feel like a nuisance. I can't take up space because I'm going to irritate my dad just by existing, you know? So it's like really like following back these thoughts and these beliefs and filtering them through the heart space, and purifying and cleansing them, and then reintegrating, you know. So say, okay, it was your dad, and you know, you felt like you were a nuisance with him, but then it's like, now that you're an adult, you can go, okay, well, I can look at it from my dad's point of view, where he just wanted to go get a few things done, leave me at home so that he could go get his stuff done and then come back. And it wasn't that you were a nuisance in the sense that, like, you weren't allowed to exist, but just in the sense that, hey, he just had to go pop out, do a few things, come back home, and you just took it in that moment as a child as, oh wow, that hurts, dad doesn't want me, fine, I guess I won't come because whatever, and that's when that got solidified. So it's like really bringing in this greater awareness of, oh, okay, my dad was busy and he wanted to get his stuff done, whatever the story is. Okay, I don't know, I'm just making it up, but whatever the storyline is for you, and really purging and cleansing and purifying and really being honest with yourself around what it is that you do believe. I love it. That's so cool. So we communicate, we have our thought, we communicate it, and we purify it through our heart center. I love it. Okay, and then so we also have paths diverging. So there's a lot of, crossroads, paths diverging, and it's time to let go. So a lot of this is coming from just our beliefs. That's what I'm getting. So it's like this is mostly belief work, but you'll know for you, if it is a relationship or if it's a job or if it's whatever it is, that niggling thing, that thing that's been saying, okay, I'm almost done with this. I'm almost done with this. You're almost done with this. It's time. And I also have in brackets, listen. Okay, so listen for the guidance. That's why I'm saying you will know. So there's paths diverging this week, and you will know. You will know what it's time to let go of and what it's not time to let go of. And coming back to that honesty card, okay? Not pulling cards, but, coming back to honesty and getting vulnerable, getting honest with yourself, taking responsibility, because if you don't, then you're just going to keep living out these different shadow aspects, and you're not really going to be in full alignment with your highest, truest, authentic self, because you don't want to be honest. So really, you know what I'm talking about. You have paths diverging. It's time to let go and listen. Listen for the guidance. Ask for the guidance. You will be guided. Okay, what else? Okay, I have grand finale of all draining energies. So this is like, as I've been speaking, this is what I'm talking about. There's this grand finale. There's this completion. There's this energy being supported of severing cords. Snip, 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 snip. Here we go. Everything that you don't want in your life, gone. If that's what you choose, right? On top of it already working in our favor, right? So the grand finale of all draining energies. So people, places, things, foods, thoughts, beliefs, actions, whatever, habits. I know there's some overlapping there, but point is, anything that isn't serving you, all draining energies, as I was talking, even like, addiction to Facebook or to scrolling or to like whatever it is, YouTube or whatever it might be, Netflix. Obviously I don't really watch movies that often because I didn't even think about that, but yeah, like whatever it is that's draining you is being severed. So this is your time to really utilize this forward movement action, because it's like what I'm seeing is like this, like I'm like trying to move forward and I have all these like strings attached with weights, and somebody just came and cut all those weights. And so there's like this, like it's like imagine coming full force and there's all these weights on you, and then someone comes and snips it and you just catapult forward because you were putting so much effort into trying to pull the weights, and someone just cut that shit away. I was like, boom, gone. And now all of a sudden you're liberated and you're free, and it's like, oh my God, what do I do now? Where do I go? Like, what do I do? How do I get there? And so that's where the creation side of it all comes in, right? So once we can be liberated from it, that's where we focus on creation. What is it that you want to anchor in? What is it that you want to focus on? And create and build, and how do you want to be of service? And like, this is the fun part of it, where you get to choose where you're going. All that stuff in the past, it's happened, it's done. We need to purify it, we need to shed it, we need to understand it, we need to integrate it, so we can learn how to be in this now present moment and create from this now present moment, not from past traumas or past wounds or past experiences. We can be right here, right now, focused on what is it that I want? what do I want, Aurora? What do you want? Let's move forward. Let's focus on my heart. Let's focus on asking for help. Let's focus on being vulnerable. Let's focus on taking action when I need to. Let's focus on switching up my habits. Let's focus on eating better. Let's focus on exercising, right? So that's like, to me, that's the fun side of it, is like getting into that creative flow of creating my business instead of my previous energetics around it of, oh God, it feels like a burden. Oh, it's stressing me out. Oh, can I really sustain it? Oh, can I do it? Oh, am I good enough? Are people really going to want me? Are they this? All these different things. Like, this is what's being shed from me. Like, even this video, like, I don't really get anxious too much before the video because I have my notes and I'm talking about, this, that, whatever, and I already know. Whereas this time it was like I didn't have that astrological pivot point to kind of work off of, pivot point, reference point to work off of, and so I was kind of like nervous and also, I mean, for many other different reasons, but I was like, okay, no, Aurora, you got this. I had to give myself a pep talk, and now here I am recording it, and I know that it will be of service to so many people, so, if it's not this week, it's going to be at some point. So I'm honoring myself, and I'm trusting myself, and I'm showing up, and I'm doing what I need to do in order to move forward in my own personal struggles, which is financially and which is business, right? So it's like really creating a career for myself that I love, that I wake up every morning and I'm excited to do, that doesn't feel like work, that feels like I'm just walking around helping everybody, because like that's really what it comes down to for me. That is my service. My service is just basically to help people to embody their highest authentic self through kind of, working through this shadow self. So just a little bit about what's going on here for me. But yeah, so there's this grand finale. That's the point of all that. Grand finale of old energies, of old beliefs, entering into this energy of fueling. So of abundance, of prosperity, of love, of compassion, of ecstasy, of, movement, of joy from this, dark, depressed, sad, lonely, disconnected reality that we've all been in. That's kind of what we're all in. And I've worked really hard to get to this point so that I can create, right? So that's kind of a way that we can look at it. It's like, all right, let's clean up our shit so I can get to this now moment. And then from this now moment, I can create. So yeah, that's exciting. So grand finale of all draining energies, and then new emotional fulfillment I also have here. So new emotional fulfillment. So maybe you were in a bad relationship where you weren't, or a job, or anywhere where you were not emotionally fulfilled. Maybe even just your own personal connection to yourself. I'm not emotionally fulfilled. I don't love myself. I don't know how to love myself. I don't know where to begin. Like, I really just don't want to be here. Like, that kind of energy. There's new emotional fulfillment. There's ways that you're going to be seeing the silver lining of yourself, of, seeing the love in your eyes and seeing the divinity that you are, and really choosing to embody that instead of that shadow self where it's like, I don't feel good enough, this, that, whatever, I'm not perfect, this, that, whatever. Well, through the eyes of the divine, you're perfect. So it's like, well, you're just looking through the wrong lens here, and let me just, give you a clear lens so that you're able to actually see how amazing and magnificent that you are. That's kind of the energy coming through right now. But that doesn't mean that there's not going to be turmoil, struggle, that doesn't mean that it's going to be easy, especially if we're going through very intense choice points right now, right? So if we're going through very intense choice points, it's not going to be easy, it's not going to feel good, but you know that it's what you need to do. So it's about taking that action and really choosing yourself, and choosing yourself, and choosing yourself. Sorry, my legs hurt. I guess my butt. Okay, so new version of you being embodied through learned lessons. Excuse me. My throat chakra. So that's basically what I've already said. You know, through our past, through what it is that we've gone through, like this is all being tied up, and we are now embodying our new version of ourselves. Like this week, like seriously, guys, like that's all I gotta say. Feet, it's coming. Okay, love and coming back to the heart space. This is another really, really big energy this week, especially with the shadow self surfacing and our foundation kind of just being tested. And it's not bad. It's just that if you don't have a solid foundation, you're gonna know. Hear that motorcycle? I don't know if you could, but a motorcycle went by. So yeah, I lost my point. Love and coming back to the heart space. It's gone. So yeah, love and coming back to the heart space. So yeah, basically though, bringing in this compassion, this understanding, this love for this old version of yourself, for this version of you that you've outgrown, and loving and honoring so that you can be here now and create from this beautiful, you know, pure heart that you've just cleansed and purified. So yeah, and then opening up. Oh yeah, so as we're purifying, as we're cleansing, we are opening our vessel to receive information from source. God, universe, higher self, whatever you want to call it. So as we purify it, we actually, so say we're looking at the pillar of chakras. So say that all your chakras are balanced and aligned and in a good open state. Then what happens is they have their own energy flow. They go out your base and they come back up around into your crown. So you have this toroidal field that is being created because you are a clear conduit of source energy. So when you can purify and cleanse yourself, your mind, body, and your spirit, and you can allow for this divine essence, this source connection to run through you, we're able to hear the divine, to hear God, to hear the guidance of the universe, to live in a complete different paradigm where we're not looking at the physicality to basically determine and to guide us through. We are going within and we're tapping into our own innate wisdom and our intuition to guide us through. Because really at the end of the day, we're the only ones that really know what is best for us personally. So, very beautiful. As we're purifying our heart and coming back to our heart and focusing on love and compassion, then we're you know, activating this source connection. And it's allowing for us to support our divine feminine, to support the divine feminine. This week, oh, I love it. So that's what they're saying. So that's why the first half of the video was all about the foundation. Because in order for us to have, you know, be supported, to support the divine feminine, we have to have something to support it in. Right? So basically that base is that chalice for the divine. And that's why we have to make sure that it is solid. So this will allow for us to support source, to support spirit as we create our foundation here. So in our own personal physical lives, as we solidify our foundation, the more that we are opening, purifying, cleansing our physical vessel to receive that higher frequency, that guidance, that source, that higher self. And that's how we know how we can support the divine feminine. So because we're listening, because we're being guided, because we're being nurtured, I mean, that in itself is the divine feminine. So we're anchoring in the divine feminine into our base. This is really cool. This is really beautiful. So we're pulling it all the way from the crown through down to our base, and they're merging. And so then it's our job to build our foundation up to our crown is what I'm hearing. So it's like spirit is coming in through our crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, base. This is where spirit has access to us fully now. This is what I'm being told. And so then now it's our job, it's our responsibility to build that foundation up to spirit. We're building the stairway to heaven within our own reality. And so that's really what's going on right now. And that's the merging of the masculine and feminine, which is what I've been talking about as well in previous videos with the Lemurian and the Atlantean energy, right? So we're kind of reclaiming this divine union. And we're replacing the distorted perspectives of the divine feminine. So as we are cleansing, purging, purifying, nurturing, loving, doing everything we need, we're inviting, we're giving that space to the divine to enter into us. We're saying, yeah, I'm ready to feel love. Yeah, I'm ready to be loved. Yeah, I'm ready to come back to my heart space. Yeah, I'm done with feeling abandoned and, you know, mistreated and abused and all these different things. I'm ready to come back to that divine feminine, you know, that true, pure love, loving essence that she is. And, yeah, so that's kind of where we're going with this, is really like learning how to support ourselves as well. That's what the divine feminine. So as much work as we do that allows the feminine to run through us, then we're supporting the feminine more on the planet, if that makes sense. Okay, yeah, and then a lot's coming up this week emotionally to grow. So I really talked a lot about the mental so far and purifying the mental, but now I'm being reminded there's also the emotional. So when things are coming up in the mind, you can also do the same thing I said to you with the mind, which is, you know, the feeling. So when you feel the feeling, it's like speak the feeling and then purify it through the heart space. Speak the feeling and purify it through the heart space. Speak the feeling, purify. Oh, and they also said, after you purify it through the heart space, you speak the truth. Cool, love it. So you speak the feeling. So, okay, you have a feeling, you speak the feeling, purify it through your heart, speak the truth. Have a thought, speak the thought, purify it through the heart, speak the truth. So on and so forth. So emotions, yeah, we're going to be having a lot of emotions also surfacing. Emotions are the divine feminine, so that is source guiding you. That is your higher self guiding you through all of these loops and turns and ups and downs with your healing journey, with your life, with this journey that you're on. So as things are coming up, don't run. Don't run from it. You need to choose to evolve. You need to connect with it, connect to your power and source. And really just keep coming back to your heart space and really choosing to listen and to slow down and to surrender to the process and divine timing. Have faith. Yeah, that was a card I pulled before coming to. Okay, only a few more points here and then I'll get to the cards. I guess I thought I'd spend most of it pulling cards, but I'm mistaken. I guess I have a lot more to say than I thought. Okay, yeah. So no more being manipulated and controlled anymore. This is a really, really, really big frequency. A really, really big point. I don't even know why I said frequency. But no more being manipulated and controlled anymore, guys. This is amazing. This is exactly where we need to be. This is like having that clarity around, you know, when we can connect to our truth and our center, we know, we see truth, we see lies, we see what it is. Like when you can really have that clear lens and that clear heart and that sheer observer role, and you have the power to see when people are siphoning your energy, when people are manipulating you, when people are working on your shadow self in order to get what they want out of you. Because really that's all manipulation is. It's like, okay, I'm going to use your flaws that I know that you have, that you don't even know that you have, and I'm going to manipulate you to get what I want out of you. And that's that. That's how it works. They use your shadow self in order to control you. Okay, or to get you to do something for them, or to get, you know, something you wouldn't normally say yes to. You're just like, okay, sure, why not? Because they have you. They know. I heard they have you by the balls. They know what it is that is your vulnerable, your soft spot, and they use it against you. So through doing this work, you just don't have that. You just don't attract that. You don't attract those type of people because they have no power over you. So if they have no power over you, then you have no use to them. It sounds really cut and dry, but to be honest, it kind of is. Narcissists, people that manipulate or want control or power or whatever it is, it is what it is. They have their own path and their own healing journey, but that's totally out of your hands. What you can do is recognize the behaviors and recognize the energy and the patterns, and then choose to disconnect. You can't save them, you can't heal them, you can't tell them that they're doing what they're doing, because they're going to just manipulate it even further. So to me, it's just best to cut that out. So maybe that's what the message is. I said no more being manipulated and controlled anymore. So maybe that is what we're doing this week around people that have that power over us. So yeah, no more being manipulated and controlled. And then we have shift in consciousness. So yeah, we're going to have a shift in consciousness. Of course, we're raising our consciousness, we're purging, we're shedding, we're clearing, we're purifying. And in our mind and in our heart. Sorry, I'll read that whole sentence. I thought they were two different points, but it's shifting consciousness, mind, and heart. So there will be a shift in our consciousness, mind, and heart. So we're up-leveling here. And then opening psychic channel to receive source guidance. Yep, said that many times. Connecting to the subconscious and subtle energetic bodies. Cool. That's a good way to close her off. Making choices out of love, the heart space, not the ego. Okay, I like that one, actually. I do want to touch on that real quick. So yeah, making choices out of love. So choosing love, always choosing love over fear, right? So it's like whenever there's, like a decision to be made, it's like, okay, well, are you making it out of love, or are you making it out of fear? And that's kind of the scale that you need to work with to understand and to go deeper with. And then it says the heart space, not the ego. So tapping into our heart space. Is this of service? Is this for the good? Not is this going to serve me? Is this going to give me a quick fix? It's like, is this sustainable? Is this what I really want? You need to sit with it. You need to contemplate it and ask yourself, why am I choosing this? Right? So whenever you're making choices, choose love. And ask yourself, why am I choosing this? And then I also just did a quick little write-up of how we might kind of feel. There's only 4 little points here, but I was kind of tapping into my own personal energy, and I said, okay, is this collective energy as well, or is this just my own? And they said it's collective. And so we have lethargy, so feeling lethargic, feeling like you need a routine, feeling like you're wanting more out of, your daily life, and then realizing our priorities and prioritizing them. Sounds basic, sounds simple, but it's not always that easy. All right, cool. So yeah, if you are feeling any of these things, just kind of tap in, really come back to your heart space. If you're feeling lethargic, really come back to yourself and use your, intuition and say, what do you need? Why are you feeling lethargic? Do you need food? Do you need water? Do you need, sleep? Do you need, whatever it might be? So just come back to yourself, whenever you are feeling that way. And I'm going to take my own advice too, because I've just been struggling with really implementing a schedule. So, universe, that's what I would like. Okay, wow. Let's see. I have all these decks. I know for sure I'm going to pull a few out of this. These are just basic, little, quick, easy cards. So I've never read the book, but they're nice cards, so I'm going to give it a go. They're Kyle's, so not my deck, but I love it. All right. My goodness, I was also going to play the singing bowl. We'll see. We will see. Maybe I'll close out with it. All right, so please give me, how many cards do we want? 3. Please give me 3 cards for the collective reading here for the week of May 3rd, 2021, or a timeless reading, depending on when you're watching this. Okay, there, these 2. And this one. Love it. Perfect. So perfect, guys. So we have centering. Oh, wow. It's kind of dark. How do I... Centering. Right? So coming back to your center, connecting back to yourself, to your source cord, letting go of all that's not serving you, being open for change. So there's that change card. Change, change, change. And then expression. Learning how to express. Opening up that throat chakra. Centering, change, expression. That's beautiful. All right. I just didn't get any more information than those 3 words, but I really think it's quite self-explanatory. Everything actually I just said. Protection. Yeah, so there's another message for us too, guys. When we are connected, we are protected. So when you're connected to yourself, your truth, your source cord, your angels, your guides, the universe, you know, the good, then you really have nothing to worry about. So it's really about purifying that connection to yourself, that connection to source, that connection to your higher self, that connection to the universe, to the animals, to the earth, to whatever it is. Okay, cool. So yeah, okay, I did get a little more information here. So we have centering. So center, we're learning to center ourselves. That will catalyze and clarify the change that we need. And then we express the change. And either our needs are met or they're not. And that's how we know where we can stay or walk away. And that's our protection, is our connection. Okay, cool. Okay. I want all these decks. Let's see. Beyond Lemuria. The Lemurian energy is just calling my name. So what's coming through here? Yeah. Let's do it. Okay, this will be good. Alright, so I'm going to pull a few from here, close out with my singing bowl, and then I'll let you guys go. I really, really appreciate you guys popping in, checking it out, listening. I hope that it helped you with whatever it is that you're going through this week or whenever you find this. Yeah, just keep coming back to your heart center. Keep motivating yourself and telling yourself that, you know, you can do it and that you do have the power, you do have the strength, you do have the resources, you do have the connections, you do have everything that you need to get to where you need to be. So it's just about asking for the help and asking for the guidance and really living from your heart. All right, give us some Lemurian energies. Lemurian. High heart chakra, ecstatic bliss. Oh, and look, it's the card. It's the back of the cards as well. I love it. Even better. So higher heart chakra. There you go. Higher self. Let's see. What do they have in here? And it's a 6. The card number is a 6. So 6 is all about material world. So like whenever I see a 6, it's like, are you focused on the spiritual or are you focused on the material? Are you coming from the head or are you coming from the heart? The ego or the heart, right? So what is it that you're choosing? So this higher heart chakra, interesting. I love it. I'm going to read it to you. And it's a 6. Ecstatic bliss. Divine love, selflessness, spiritual compassion, oneness through heart-centered bliss, healing, gratitude, giving love, dharma, which means purpose, patience, and joy. This card taps into the blissful oneness we feel as we drop away our edges and protective containers. This is the place where we feel held and seen, enough to flow into oneness, where the eternal part of me meets the eternal part of you. This is the selfless state where our higher selves commune, for illuminated perspective on how we share, gift, and lift others in our joyful overflow. Restore. Consider your life purpose by exploring what allows you to give in joy. Themes. The ways you can bring joy to yourself and others. Healing position. The thymus gland. Behind your sternum, a little above the heart. Oh, thymus. I'm not sure where that is. I thought it was in the throat, but it says behind your sternum, a little above the heart. I think this is your sternum. Anyway, I'm not going to embarrass myself any farther with my lack of anatomy knowledge. And then the color is iridescent pink, or iridescent pink. Beautiful. So that was the higher heart chakra, guys. So basically represents our higher self. So Lemuria is wanting to tell us that we are being guided, that our heart, it is our heart that is going to guide us to our higher selves, as that is the gateway to our higher heart. Okay, so higher heart just meaning like spirit. I was doing this, but it's not what I wanted. Meaning just spirit, right? So your soul. All right, one more to close it out. That was a lot of juicy information, so I hope it wasn't too overwhelming. And if it was, watch it again. Yeah, new blueprints, guys. I love it. So beautiful. New blueprints. So that's it. That's exactly it. That's kind of why it's like this, because it's like, it's a blueprint. It's being, you know, the abundance blueprint, the 5D blueprint, the Aquarium blueprint. It's like we're being upgraded. It's like when you reset your phone after an update, you come back and it's updated. It's like, that one doesn't exist anymore and this one does. So that's kind of what's happening. There's an alarm. That's kind of what's happening here with us as well. So with our thoughts, with our beliefs, with our lives, with our relationships, with our children, with our parents, with everything, with all aspects of our lives, is being upgraded. So it's being upgraded through the higher heart chakra. I love it. So beautiful. Okay, well, there's an alarm going, but I did say I was gonna play the bowl, so hopefully it's good. If not, shut it off real quick so you don't have to hear it, but I am gonna play it. And if any information needs to come through, I will speak. So if you just want to get comfortable, maybe close your eyes. Oh no, that little window didn't help. Alright, here we go. Alright. Let's connect to your breath. Connect to your heart center. Feel the oxygen. Feel your lungs. Feel the gratitude for this vessel. Your higher self has called you here today, speaking to you through me, to thank you, and to honor you, and to love you, and to hold you. Most importantly, to say thank you, and that they're so proud of you. They say that we hug you often, and we encourage you all the time, even in your darkest moments. We're there, in your heart. It hurts, I know, but it's here to teach you something grander than anything you have ever known Taking a nice deep breath. And when you think you've had enough, taking a little bit more. And let it out. Just let it out. If you need to cry, if you need to laugh, release however you need. This is an activation for you that you've asked for. Notice the alarms, the sirens are gone and giving us a serene, calm place to connect to. Nice deep breath in and out on your own time. Feeling your heart expand and your mind quiet. Your body relaxing and knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. Feeling safe and comfortable in your body and knowing that abundance is a matter of perception. One more deep breath and let it out in your own time. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.